It's sad that they're removing 9mm. I hope they like go back on that. That was a good shot. It's actually kinda... You're bad. So hello gamers and welcome back to another video. So there's an update coming out fairly soon to Phantom Forces, and there's a ton of big changes to the guns in this game. So today I thought I would go over the best new guns in Phantom Forces. And these are new and changed guns that are actually going to be super effective and super great in the new update. Yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're new, and comment down below which of these is your favorite. But yeah, please subscribe and do comment because it actually helps quite a bit. Wow. The first gun here is going to be the AUG A2. The AUG A3 is also going to be very good after this update. The AUG A2 762 conversion actually got a damage buff, which I really like. Also, the default gun did get a damage buff as well. This thing now does 37 to 24 with a torso multiplier, so like 40 to like 25 all ranges, which is kind of insane. And it has a 60 stud max range and does like about 53 head. So it can 2-shot headshot to like 75 studs, 3-shot body to like 80, maybe even 90 studs, which is pretty good. It has 700 RPM, and for 762, it's very accurate. I think this gun is extremely powerful. Is it going to be the best assault rifle in the game? Possibly. AUG A3 might be the best assault rifle in the game overall now, which is really, really cool. But I thought I would talk about this one for the video because I always liked this conversion. Ever since they added it, I thought it was very cool. And now it's going to be extremely powerful, even more than it was before. Auto rifles didn't receive as many cool updates, but the G3 did get changed to the G3A3, got wooden furniture for better recoil, and to go back to the G3, so a new model, but you can actually make it the old one again. And it also got a 45 ACP conversion. Now, the 45 ACP conversion is actually kind of cracked. It can 5-shot all ranges, it can almost 4-shot torso all ranges, but it can't do that. And it gets lower recoil, better handling, better RPM, and keeps a great headshot multi. It's not quite as good for its headshot multi, but it's 37 times 1.7. So it can still easily 2-shot with one headshot and one body shot. So basically, you just get better RPM, but less damage, but you get a 30-round mag as well and lower recoil, which is pretty cool. In fact, with all this stuff on it, it actually has like no recoil at all. Like, that's really low. And the headshot damage is kind of insane. So it can kill with one head and one torso shot. Not super far, but it can. And 2-shot headshot very easily. And the recoil is very good with the full setup, which is kind of cracked, I'm not gonna lie. I think this will make the gun a lot better for a lot of people who don't want to have to deal with an actual battle rifle, because this is basically an AK-47, but no recoil. Kind of similar hits to kill. In fact, I think the AK-47 can't kill with one head, one torso, and this can. So it actually has better hits to kill than an AK-47. Not as great ranges, though, but like, it is kind of cracked. It falls off a bit harder at range, but let's be real, it is so much more accurate. And the wooden furniture is also going to help the non-45 ACP players to just do a tiny bit better as well, which is cool. As you can see, it's pretty accurate for the fact that it does 80 to 60 headshot damage. It can 2-shot head all ranges with the default ammo, and it's still pretty accurate. And now you can actually use it kind of like a DMR, which is really cool. Wooden furniture is really going to help you with that tap firing and stuff, and just having that initial kick go down a little bit, which is a really good feature. Basically like an extra full stock, because the G3 already technically has a full stock on it. Most battle rifles have a full stock to begin with. Not the attachment itself, but like in reality, it has a full stock on the gun. So now it has like an extra one, which is really cool. And if you're going for headshots, this thing will be just extremely powerful. If you like headshotting, it's a great conversion. If you don't even like headshotting, it's still pretty good, but I do recommend you go for those torsos and headshots to get amazing hits to kill. This is a great gun now. Next up, we have two controversial changes: the Groza 4 change and the Groza 1 change. I guess the Groza 4 would be more broken because with hollow point, it can actually 2-shot body, and it has 700 RPM. The recoil is pretty bad. It falls off super hard over range, but yeah, this is a broken conversion. The reason I don't think this is actually that broken is because I think the FAL 56-3 para can still 2-shot to the limbs with the hollow point conversion anyway to a farther range, and it also has better recoil and better min damage. That hasn't really been a huge problem, maybe because people don't know it can do that, but yeah, spoiler, it can do that, which is cool. Do I prefer the old one? I don't know. I don't really like the gun a ton to begin with, but the Groza 1 change is really fun. Basically, the Groza 1 got a slower reload time and more recoil, but it got a lot better damage. It used to do 33 to 22, now it does 37 to 24. So it can almost 4-shot kill at any range, and it has 750 RPM and can 2-shot to the head as well. So it's basically like a 30-round version of the AUG A2 762 with better RPM. Now, is that actually a super broken change? Maybe it is. We'll have to see. It does have some recoil. AUG A2 does have, I guess, better hits to kill in a few cases, and it also has better recoil control, but overall, this is a better gun than the AUG A2 762. A very good carbine, and I'm glad that 5.56 is not the only reason to use this gun now. They actually nerfed 5.56, which is pretty interesting, but they also have 5.45 by 39 and 5.56 by 45. 5.56 by 45 is the old good conversion. Now it's pretty good. It has really good velocity and a good headshot multi, but it's not anything super special. It can 2-shot headshot, which is nice, but is a 4-shot to a 6-shot, which isn't really good compared to a 3 to a 5-shot, maybe a 4-shot all ranges from the default ammo. It does have better recoil though, so if you want that, it's all right. But 5.45 is interesting. You get a 45-round magazine, not great recoil, but you get a 45 round magazine. It's still a 3 to a 5 shot. It can't 2-shot headshot anymore though, and I guess you get better recoil, but not by like a ton. If you want a faster RPM RPK, this is actually pretty good. It's pretty different damage wise, but it is still kind of like the same type of feel, I guess. In fact, the RPK 74 and this kind of have like very similar hits to kill now, as I believe the RPK 74 can't 2-shot headshot anymore. It does like 35 to 21 and this does like 35 to 20, but this has more RPM, which is really cool. In fact, it's 100 more RPM, which is kind of big, not gonna lie. Really awful reload speed, which is kind of unfortunate. I don't feel like it should be this bad for the reload speed. I'm not gonna lie. Like, come on, just move your hands faster, guy. Okay, but I like the idea of this conversion. I'm not really going to be using it. I'll probably be using the default ammo mostly because I really like the default ammo now. It does great damage. Next up, we have a bit of an interesting gun change that might be pretty controversial, and this is the change to the USAS 12. The USAS was always kind of but very easy to use. Now it's probably the best change to any shotgun, except maybe like the weird bolo rounds on the DT11, but like I feel like those will be pretty changed before they actually make it to main game, but yeah, this actually is a decent gun now. You're probably wondering why. Well, basically, it got 20 damage, which means it takes 5 out of 8 pellets instead of 6. So much easier to one-tap, and also it has significantly better recoil and better spread, which is kind of ridiculous because the gun was already not necessarily great in my opinion, but very good for people who weren't really that great at video games, you know? It's a 450 RPM shotgun that's automatic. It shouldn't probably be very good, but now it's actually going to be a pretty decent shotgun, which is going to be scary to fight against. It has 150 more RPM than the AA-12, and it doesn't do as great damage, but now it does slightly better damage than before, which is going to make a huge difference on how powerful this gun is. Am I a huge fan of this change? No, not at all. Like, this change is pretty bad. Honestly, it's a pretty bad idea. This gun wasn't very good when it came out, but it was still pretty hated, and I understand why. It's an automatic shotgun. It's easy to use. A gun being no skill is kind of like a reason to use it, you know? And this has that reason to use it, and didn't really need anything else. Also, semi-auto conversion is pretty good now, as you can see from this guy. Semi-auto conversion has better recoil as well and better spread, and that makes that conversion pretty good. Not great because like there's lots of other semi-auto shotguns in the game, but now it's going to be a pretty viable gun and also be easy to use. So not the best shotgun, but definitely the best change to the shotguns to make them better. Not like in terms of do I like the change, because I don't really like the change at all. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna be a fun gun to fight against at all. It wasn't before, and now it's gonna be more annoying to fight against. Like, I can actually one-tap people with this thing now, which is really dumb. Hello, other guy. Honestly, you guys get the idea. It's broken. It's stupid. Hopefully, it's not going to be super abused because, like, not good. Going 26 and 5, 27 and 5, 11 kill streak. Really not even trying that hard as well, which is stupid. Okay, it should not be working at that range at all. Like, it took a lot of hits, but the fact that I was able to kill anyone from that far is a problem. The PDW class is pretty weird because, technically speaking, this gun did not get a change. 45 Super did get a nerf, but not by a ton. But the reason the Vector is now the best PDW in the game is pretty simple. It's because the Colt SMG was nerfed. The Colt SMG was the only gun I really thought was a better gun than the Chris Vector. This update, the Vector isn't really going to be getting a change, except for 45 Super. It literally is. Not even just the best new PDW or new change to a PDW, it's just the best one right now. That's because the Colt SMG was nerfed, and that's pretty unfortunate because I feel like the Vector is a little bit too good. I have like 2,000 kills on it. I love the gun. It's super fun, but it is super broken, and I think it should get a change to be a little bit more unique. Don't just nerf it into the ground. Make it have like different recoil due to Super V recoil reduction system where the bolt recedes back into like the front of the magazine. You need to have something interesting about the gun. Also, the 2-shot burst should be like the main reason to use it, because in real life the burst is like the main reason to use the Vector. But now it doesn't even like reduce the recoil. It just has a bunch of recoil. I love the gun. It's a great gun, but it's going to be way too good this update. This isn't technically the best LMG in the game anymore. It's probably more of a nerf to the gun, but for changed guns in the update, Scarhammer is going to be the best changed LMG. The new conversion on the H-bar is cool, but not great. But this with the ramp mod, it is really fun. And also, it's a great gun overall. Initially, it's going to fire pretty slowly. If you get your headshots, it won't be super trash. Or TTK up close, but not great. But then if you start to fire for a longer period of time, it will fire extremely fast and have great TTK and extremely low recoil. This gun is going to be really good. More of a medium to long range gun now, but definitely still an alright close range gun if you really have to use it in that range. But as you can see here, like the RPM that it gets up to is really good. It's like 725 RPM. And it's sad that they're removing 9mm. I hope they like go back on that. That was a good shot. The default gun is still pretty good. I just wish that they would not remove 9mm. Just like nerf it if you have to, but don't remove it. MSG didn't really get a change, but since the TCR is gonna get a nerf, I think this might be the best new DMR in the entire game, which is pretty cool. You can have a 20-round magazine or 10 rounds, but a one-shot headshot. And it's a really good gun overall. But now it's going to be extremely, extremely good just due to the fact that it can one-shot to the head. And the TCR just kind of got like extremely mega nerfed. For new sniper rifles, I actually got to give it to the K14. K14 has a worse torso killing range now, but first off, that is a great inspect animation, and secondly, it has 70 RPM now, which is extremely fast. So it can one-shot headshot all ranges, one-shot torso in close range, but it has 70 RPM. That's as much as the Mosin. Basically, this is like a Mosin with 10 rounds by default and a really, really fast rate of fire for the fact that it can one-shot to the torso, and the Mosin can't. So this is actually like the best sniper rifle, at least new sniper rifle in the game, except maybe the FT300, but I kind of like this one more. The FT300 now has like a really good torso kill range if you're not using marksman kit, which is cool. Makes marksman kit not necessarily like the only reason to use it, but I prefer this RPM. Like this RPM is so incredibly good. Before it had like 55, now it has 70, which is really good. On the FT300, if you have 308 light barrel and no marksman kit, you get a 143 stud torso kill range, which is really good. Basically like an intervention with one bullet and awful velocity, but it does have really good handling and probably a better rate of fire than the intervention. It's kind of goofy, really bad drop, but it can one shot extremely far. So if you want to have like a very good CQC to mid-range sniper rifle with 1900 velocity, so awful velocity, but a good torso kill range, then it's pretty good. The best new pistol is definitely going to be going to the suppressed Makarov. I don't want to have to like pronounce it because I don't know how to say it. Please let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll actually be able to. This can two-shot to the body to like 30 studs and one-shot headshot to about 20. It has absolutely awful drop, but up close, this gun is amazing. It's probably like the best panic secondary in the entire game if you can click fast, because you can one-shot people, you can two-shot people, you can spam, and it has 80 bullets. This thing actually goes off with the extended magazine. It just sucks over range. Only use this gun if you're running like a really great all-around gun. Don't use like a shotgun in this because you won't be able to tap people over range. Like even there, that is pretty bad hits to kill. It drops to like a 6-shot, 5-shot, maybe like a 3-shot headshot all ranges, which isn't too bad, but like it's really for close range. If you're in close range, this gun is amazing. It can have 80 bullets, you fire extremely fast, and you can 1-shot and 2-shot. Like that is ridiculous. It is balanced because of the drop, but like it is extremely good. It might be even like too good, even though it's super niche for like extremely close range. It might just be too good at close range, so we'll have to see. Like as you can see, falls off extremely hard, and it's actually an overall worse pistol, but it does close range so well that it's definitely going to be a buff to the gun. It's going to make it a lot more interesting. Recently they fixed this gun a bit, but originally this was probably the most broken secondary. They added more broken than the suppressed Makarov, at least in my opinion. That's a Scorpion rat shot, and they did nerf this before adding it to the test place, but this is probably the best close range machine pistol in the entire game. It can 2-shot to the body and can do 90 headshot, but it has 850 RPM. The problem is it's a shotgun conversion that has a lot of spread, and the ranges are really bad now. However, they didn't really do a lot of other machine pistol changes, so I wanted to give it to this one. If you can't use a semi-auto pistol and you want a panic secondary, this is probably the best one in the entire game. I got like a 10 kill multi with it in my original video on it, and that's how I realized how broken it was. And since then, it has been nerfed, but only for its range, not the damage itself. So it still does 13 times 5, which is kind of insane for an 850 RPM gun. And yeah, for close range, this thing is going to absolutely demolish. Due to the Rex nerf, I think this is actually going to be a significantly better gun, and that's the Mateba. I've never been a huge fan of the Mateba. Originally, it was a little bit better than the Rex before they buffed the Rex, and then they buffed the Mateba. And even then, I was like, it's an alright gun. It has a tiny bit better damage, but I don't really care too much. And then in the test place, they actually nerfed the Rex. And now this is actually going to be a better revolver overall. It's actually kinda... You're bad. Kinda cracked, I'm not gonna lie. Like, one-shot headshot pretty far, good RPM. Last up we have other, and this is going to the advanced coil gun. With a good attachment loadout, you can have a 3-shot kill at 1200 RPM with this. It falls off super hard over range, and the bullet drop is super bad, but this is actually an extremely cracked gun now. Possibly the best secondary in the entire game, but that's really just up to your personal preference. Anyways, gamers, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new, but I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Have a nice day.